Why do you want to hunt?
Because you all think that I can't. I saw a sign in the sky. I'm ready.
What is happening right now? Alicia?
Oh no, that's my grandmother.
But, Socks, how long were we gone?
Meow, 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 meow. 62 years, 7 months, and 5 days.
What?
You want to make an omelet? You got to kill some people.
You must be Lloyd. What gave it away? The trash stash. It leans Lloyd.
This Organized Chaos podcast is brought to you by JEMS Art Studio. This podcast is also brought to you by listeners like you. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to another Organized Chaos podcast. I am Bobby Quarters, that is I, and with me is Bob, or Chaos. How are you, bud?
I'm doing okay, Bobby. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing not so bad. Feeling kind of rejuvenated,
Well, I remember
re-energized.
last week you brought up going to
Yes.
fish. How was fish?
Yes. Oh, that was a blast. Absolute fun time. Hell of a fun drive, actually. Because it was up in Blossom Music Center, which is in Akron, or Cuyahoga Falls. Gorgeous venue. Like the venue itself is designed for the Cleveland Orchestra, so it's designed for like orchestral concerts. So the acoustics naturally in there are just great, and Fish absolutely utilize that. One of the staples they have is doing like a cappella songs where they'll just kind of stand by a mic and sing.
Nice.
They opened up the set with an a cappella Strawberry Fields Forever.
Oh, nice.
And, proceeded to play. Well, they played my favorite song of the night, one of my favorite Fish songs. So, I was quite content and happy.
Nice. But,
Got some more added to Fish stats because that's a thing with Fish heads.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, how many times you've seen this song, or how many times you've seen the band.
Sure.
I just enjoy the music, but it's kind of fun to keep tabs, and I did the tabs and the math myself, so I've only seen them 3 times.
Oh, only.
Out of those 3, yes, I know, not even in double digits. I should be ashamed. I'm such a noob. I'm such a noob. But all right, out of the 3 times I have seen them live, though, I have watched them perform a total of 49 songs and only 5 repeats.
Yeah, I was about to say that can't be many repeats, eh?
Yeah, 5 of them. And I believe one show had 2 debuts in the same show.
Nice.
And the first time I saw them, they played a song that they hadn't played since 1995, and that was in 2012.
Wow.
So I guess I kind of got some cool bragging rights. Like a buddy of mine who went with me the first time was just kind of that same type of heckling with me. Oh, you're just a noob, man. We might ditch you when we get on lot because we don't want to be with a noob. Like stuff like that. Just friendly banter.
Well, of course.
As soon as they busted into that rare song, he turned to me. He's like, all right, you lucked out.
Yeah. Nice.
And now, whenever I'll see him at a local show or something, he'll always just be like, dude, that was so cool they played that. And it's like, yes, it was. That is when you turned a new leaf towards me. It was great.
Yeah. Well,
how was your week, Bob?
It's going okay. We watched a few movies. This is the first podcast possibly where we watched all movies coming out this year. So this is all new movies.
Yeah.
As the main topics.
Yeah.
So we got Prey.
Yeah, I think everything.
Oh.
Yeah, everything on this this week is new.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's something I didn't realize until not that long ago. I was like, wait, this all came out like within a few weeks ago. So Prey, which is a new Predator movie, and then we're going to talk about Lightyear, which came out late June, which is the oldest movie we're talking about, and then we're going to talk about Gray Man, which came out on Netflix earlier last month. I want to say maybe towards the end of last month.
Okay.
Sometime in July.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Usually it's not all new stuff, but I guess it's all streaming, so.
Yes, and this is also the first time I think not the first time we've been able to watch from the comfort of our homes.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, but usually it's older stuff. Like, it's all three newer stuff that we just watched at home.
Yep.
The oldest one came out late June. I mean, holy shit. Times are changing.
They are.
But we do have some news.
Yes.
Opening up the news, we got old friend of the channel, Neurotics friend, Alex Jones, not doing great.
Healthy dose of humble pie this week.
Oh my god. How much perjury did he commit at this trial?
Oh God, I don't know.
I know at
like,
least two times. I know
this is truthfully one that I haven't been following quite that closely, but I do remember reading the bombshell article about how his lawyer just gave his phone in its entirety to the other legal team.
Well, I love it too because you can see that it's gone viral. The clip of the lawyer going, "So have you texted? You've sent us all our text about like Sandy Hook and stuff like that." It's like, yeah, of course. Well, what about these? It's like, oh my god,
I never said
just
those.
Perjured himself. What? Well, here's your phone
right
number.
There.
Oh god, he's perjuring himself. And then add to it, there's a bit where on his show, he was sharing a Photoshop image of the judge of that trial on fire. And then the lawyer was asking me, "Hey, have you been sharing this?" "No, I haven't been sharing this." "Okay, here's a clip of your show." Here's a. It's like, oh my god, how dumb are you? It just strikes me he is just so used to lying that is like his default setting anymore. That's all he knows how to do. But he's got himself a nice piece of humble pie. AP reporting on August 6th that right now the verdict is $49.3 million against him. The only bad news I would say to this is that I'm pretty sure he has the money and can pay it. But I'll be blunt. I kind of want him to take him for everything he's worth.
Yeah, I do too. I hope so. I hope this destroys him.
Yeah.
Eviscerates him.
Yeah, he deserves nothing. He is
every bit of it.
Yeah.
Every bit of it. He is human garbage.
Yeah.
Like
he is worthless.
I'll stand by that statement forever. Like he's
no,
human garbage.
There is no value to someone like Alex Jones in the world at all. He just
Like I'm gonna be really pissed if that Bill Hicks theory is true.
Oh, what's the Bill Hicks theory?
That Bill Hicks faked his death, gained a lot of weight, and changed his name to Alex Jones.
Oh God.
Because they look kind of similar. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. And I'm based off of the comedy and other things I've heard from Bill. I doubt he would go that route. Like I highly doubt it.
But yeah, Alex Jones is a poor man, and hopefully he gets quite a bit more before everything's resolved out. Yeah. Yay. Anything you want to talk about Alex Jones before we move on to the next piece?
Actually, I just saw an article about the feds raiding Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. He had made a statement about it.
Ooh.
It was more just reporting on his statement, and I didn't want to read any further into that. I did read the headline that they even broke into his safe.
Oh.
Well, the FBI are raiding your house. I would hope that they would get the safe.
Yes.
I mean,
they can kind of do whatever they want when they have physical access.
Yeah, and I mean, they're kind of raiding your house, so if you think that they wouldn't...
Yeah, no. It's literally a thing where it's like, oh, we're having trouble opening this. We'll just take it down to the station and crack it. I mean, they can do whatever they want at that point once they get that far. Once they...
I had an article here at the save, but now it had updated or refreshed, and now I had lost it. But yeah, pretty much every top story I'm seeing is kind of just I got one. Here it is. I found it. Go on, and I'll get to it because I have it that could tie into another story.
Oh, okay. Well, the next story I have up is John Leguizamo calling out James Franco for the casting of Fidel Castro in a movie whose name I'm certain I have up here. I'm not gonna lie. When it came out that James Franco was gonna play Fidel Castro, I thought it was interesting casting. The movie's called Elena of Cuba. It's supposed to come out August 4th next year, I assume. Oh no, it was announced August 4th. I doubt they know a release date.
Did anything ever happen to those allegations against Franco?
I know. Apparently not. I think he's settled out of court. I don't know that though, so don't take me for that. But yeah, he did have allegations. He was canceled for a bit, and Seth Rogen even said he refuses to work with him ever again.
Yeah, because of that.
Yeah.
Because of the allegations, which I'm kind of wondering why it took so long for Seth to say that.
Yeah.
But maybe it was until he found some validity to it.
Yeah, I think it's he says he never saw evidence. I think it's more likely that he might have been just lying to himself. Like, there was evidence, but he's just kind of lying. Which I feel
refusing to accept it.
Yeah.
And,
it's his friend. He doesn't want to accept it, but eventually it just popped up and he went, I have to admit this about him and walk away.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm more surprised that like anyone would cast him after that, because you think with that press, whether it's alleged or true at this point, I mean, it's bad news, and that could tank the project.
Yes, it could. Well, I'm kind of surprised. Well, Leguizamo didn't even go after him for that. He just simply went after him because he's not Latino.
Whitewashing it.
Yeah,
whitewashing it.
Whitewashing. Which, I mean, he has
and
a legitimate
I know
point.
And I know that's why he was pissed about it, and I'm kind of with John on this one too. Like what the James Franco?
Mm-hmm.
That no.
Well,
no.
I know lots of people like to argue because Leguizamo has essentially played white Italian roles in his life. That being said, it's a different thing. I have to explain this all the time. It's different. Like
it's different. They cast him in that because he passes for it.
Yeah.
And it's also, he was kind of typecast as that sort of role. It was either that or some street gangster.
Yeah.
I've heard him talk about this. Yeah.
As a Latino actor, it's tougher for him to get roles, so he has to get what he can. And for white people to take roles from Latinos, I get it. It's an issue. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's kind of around the same idea of why you can't do blackface, but Dave Chappelle can do whiteface. It's, you know, the people in power taking roles from people who have less power. It's a power dynamic issue. If everything were equal, then I wouldn't have an issue with it. But everything is not equal, and he's just calling out what he sees, and I kind of agree.
I agree with him completely.
If everything were equal, I would not have an issue with it. But now it's like, Latino should have a Latino role.
He should definitely be playing Fidel. I mean, I think Leguizamo looks more like, or he could pass as Fidel better than Franco.
Well, for sure, yeah. I mean, even
because the article I found of this, it had that picture actually of James, and a picture of Fidel, and it's just like, no, it's gonna be like Sean Connery pretending that he's Japanese.
Yeah.
You only live twice, like level bad.
And at least in You Only Live and it's bad that I'm going to use a James Bond movie as a positive example of cultural representation. But at least in You Only Live
Especially
Twice,
a Connery one.
It's supposed to be a British guy pretending to be Japanese. It's actually supposed to be that
Scottish.
in the script.
When he, in fact, is actually Scottish.
But it's sad when that's your positive example.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could go see Thomas Howell in Soul Man, but that was way out of taste even for its time.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Leguizamo brings up some good points. I know the producer came out and said, Leguizamo just doesn't understand, and essentially did this huge walk around the issue, and it's like, ooh, this is not a good look. I'm sorry.
And if that won't tank your project,
yeah, yeah,
ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean,
God.
I'll be honest. I don't think Franco's done a project. I don't recall seeing that he's done a project since all the allegations came out.
Yeah, I think the last thing he did was that party movie where he based it off of that Miami rapper.
Yeah, it seems familiar.
Yeah, the dreadlocks and the tattoos and like the gold mouth stuff.
Yeah.
I know he was parodying Riff Raff.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know of him. I know there's a rapper called Riff Raff.
Yeah.
And James Franco based his look off of. That's as much as I know about it.
Yeah.
I can't. Spring Breakers.
Yes.
That's the name of the movie.
Well, Now we know James Franco can apparently still get roles as long as he's stealing them from Latino people.
Yeah, I wonder what's next.
Great.
I truthfully wonder what's next.
Yeah. But it's actually a busy news week. There's even a couple updates from today. But we're not to today yet. Batgirl, the new DCEU movie got canceled.
Yeah.
I am not 100% sure why.
I can't tell you why either. I'm curious why they didn't take Flash and let this fly out.
Yeah,
for lack of a better word, like why was this the project that's canceled, and you have so much problems regarding Flash and even with Ezra Miller? Like, I really question the decision making at Warner.
No,
like.
Well, I pulled up there's an independent article where Zaslav discusses why he canceled it, and essentially his argument is it doesn't meet our standards. Okay, I mean it's so goddamn vague.
It doesn't matter of like, your or the studio's. My opinion of it is that it doesn't matter of the studio's opinion or their reasoning why. I mean, us, the public, and any other outlet will interpret this as, oh, you're canceling Batwoman. I'm circling back to my point with the Flash. Like, you're circulating like what? It was Rosario Dawson, right?
Rosario Dawson.
Who was who was cast as Batwoman?
What is her name? Well, it's Batgirl. Actually,
Batgirl, that's right.
Leslie Grace.
Leslie Grace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're still canceling hers, and just it's not a good look, Warner.
Well, yeah, it's not a good look, especially since, to my understanding, the movie was fair way into post production. They had already finished shooting the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
And they're in post, and it's like you're canceling it now. You already anybody who's done any sort of videography understands production is the toughest part. It's the fastest part and the toughest part. You get over that production hurdle, then you pretty much have something to put together, and you don't want to walk away from that.
No, if you're in post, it's all good.
Yeah, and pre-production is the easiest point to walk away from anything. But they had done the production, they shot this goddamn thing, and now they're like, oh, we're going to walk away. Not even going to just touch it up and put it out on HBO Max, just drop the whole goddamn thing. It is baffling. Like, I understand not releasing it to theaters if you don't want to, but it's content you've already paid for. Just put it on HBO Max. It's very baffling to me. And yeah, the answer, it doesn't meet our standards. What standards are you looking for? I mean, are you looking to reboot the DCEU? Because that's a theory that's been thrown out, and that would make more sense. But I also, do you really want to reboot your very popular Wonder Woman and Aquaman franchises? It gets weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. But we don't know. I'm interested to see the movie. I theorize that it probably will come out at some point. But yeah, who knows when?
Oh yeah,
it'll probably be like the
I'm
Snyder
sure
Cut and come out like 3 years later or something.
Yeah, it'll probably be something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, let Kevin Smith take the helm.
Sure, why not? Kevin Smith was saying, I'm pretty sure I saw an article going by about him saying, it's a bad look to cancel the Latino Batgirl movie.
I'll admit, I was kind of echo chambering him a bit, but every point he was hitting on, I read that article and I was like, yeah, you're 100% right, Kev.
Like, look, man.
It's not like you're already batting 1,000 at the box office for your movies. You have a hit. Lightning has struck for you a couple of times.
Yeah.
And that's good. It's hard, but you got a lot of shoes to fill, I think, with this upcoming Shazam movie.
Yeah.
First one was good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of hope that they didn't jump the shark with the trailer and showed us all the best parts already. Trailers tend to do that.
Unfortunately, the goal is to get you into the seats. Trailers are a tricky thing. You don't want to show too much, but you don't want to show too little either.
Well, yeah,
There's an argument to do less trailers, which I think there's a sound argument for that one. But, what's next? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, this is a fun one. hits close to the channel's heart. Roadhouse. Oh boy.
Blasphemy.
Roadhouse is only the greatest single movie ever made in the history of mankind. Starring,
Next to Red Dawn.
yes, starring the unreplaceable Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, right?
But no, apparently Jake Gyllenhaal will be rebooting Roadhouse.
Now,
I don't know what
I enjoy
think of this at all.
Gyllenhaal. I enjoy him. I think he's a good actor.
Yeah.
I enjoy his work. I thought he was
sure.
great in Nightcrawler.
He's a brilliant actor, honestly.
Yeah, he's a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
He rarely turns in a bad performance for me. I just don't think he has the gusto to play Dalton.
Yeah, well,
I mean that's. I'd be okay. Okay, here I would be okay with it if it wasn't Gyllenhaal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but if Swayze was still alive, and he was somehow to take over like the Sam Elliott role.
Ooh.
I would be okay with that because he would be a bit more age appropriate for it.
Here's an idea. Bring back Sam Elliott and say he survived.
Yes.
I mean, it's Roadhouse. Shit.
I mean, Elliott is alive.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure he could still kick everyone's ass in that bar.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, this is just such a weird project. I'm not gonna lie. I have kind of morbid curiosity to see how this works out because it's such a flawed movie. It's like okay, I always call it the best movie ever made. Objectively, it's not a good movie. But it is.
Yeah, no,
it
it's
is
not that
so
great.
much goddamn fun. It is one of those hilariously bad movies. I can't hate it. I can't.
Yeah, I think of it a lot like Meatballs. Meatballs isn't a great comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not one of the legendary 80 comedies of early or young Bill Murray.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of great talent that's behind that movie.
Yeah.
Like some of the great early National Lampoon writers are behind that movie. It's just not their best turn effort.
I think it was a Mystery Science Theater, or maybe it was just Mike Nelson who said something like, Roadhouse is the greatest single movie ever made about a world-famous bouncer fighting an evil owner of a JCPenney. Yeah, that's what the movie's about.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, and can Jake Gyllenhaal capture that? I mean, honestly, probably, but I don't know. Swayze did add something unique to that movie, something uniquely cheesy. I think that's the trick with the Roadhouse. If you're gonna do it, you gotta go into it 100% genuine, thinking you're making a really cool action movie. You can't go into it tongue-in-cheek. And that's why I'm afraid they'd probably do that, and that's the easy way to go with this.
Yeah, I kind of feel that it's going to be like that string of parody movies that we got in the 2010s that were just abysmal.
Yeah, I don't remember the guys who did that, but yeah, ugh.
I mean, I could tell you this. If you're curious about any one of those, you just need to see one of them, and you're good. Mm-hmm. They're all the same.
Or even better,
same jokes.
Even better, just watch the first Scary Movie and know what these movies are just 10 steps below that.
Well, no, the first two, because those are the two that when the Wayans still owned them.
Yeah.
And that's when they got bought out of their contracts, I think, for them, which is why they didn't appear in 3 and any other of them. Mm-hmm. They were pretty much stolen from them.
Yeah.
Which is fucking horseshit.
Well.
But.
Yeah. But yeah.
Hey, you know what? They gave us White Chicks and White Chicks is fucking hilarious.
Sure. Listen, when this movie comes out, I will definitely have to check it out. But
yeah,
we'll just have to see what they do. They shouldn't go tongue in cheek. They need to treat it so genuinely. You can go as ridiculous as you want, but it has to be treated genuinely.
I mean, they already tried doing Dirty Dancing. And Red Dawn.
Yeah.
There's only one left on the Swayze hit parade.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't think they have the balls to remake it. I hope they don't have. I hope no one has the gumption. Yeah.
Ghost is probably the best of all those movies, to be blunt. Ghost.
Story wise, yeah, I'll agree with you on that.
Really
Story wise, It is absolutely like a great story and just solid. All even those effects still stand
Yeah.
up today. Like, oh, the shadowy people, those are kind of a little hooky, but
Yeah.
like, still a great story.
Well, it was,
Still a great movie.
there was a lot, like, that's the thing. That's 1990. So, like, practical effects are getting really good. And, like, there's still some seedy CGI, but, like, for the most part,
Yeah.
it's practical, and always the practical stuff just stands up better.
Yes, practical, and even practical looks really great
Mhm.
in digital.
Mm-hmm.
Practical effects look great in digital,
Yes.
which we'll get to later.
Yeah. Where was I going? Oh, yeah. Like, I want to say there's a sweet spot for effects, essentially the mid-90s. Where you could see there's this point where in the late 90s, they started relying a bit too much on CGI and it looked kind of hokey. But like in the mid-90s, where it's like they knew the limits of CGI and they had
And
the
they used it
practical
exactly.
looking like so good. They just did a little bit to CGI touch up and the effects look so good in that time period. And I'm not saying there's not been great stuff since then, because CGI has been proven to be amazing. But, this
absolutely.
This is me breaking off to a little tirade. We need to be paying CGI artists more. We need to. They need to unionize, because right now you're asking why is Marvel producing so many movies with bad CGI? It's because these houses aren't unionized, and Marvel is having the CGI houses that bid the lowest do the work for them, and it looks bad.
Yeah,
and especially post-pandemic, these guys are getting overworked because there's so much blue screen anymore. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It is ridiculous, the amount of blue and green screens used.
Mm-hmm. So, CGI artists unionize, and for God's sakes, pay them more.
Yeah. Pay them what they're worth. They work hard.
Yes.
They work hard to make the movies great. Look great.
Mm-hmm. But yes, we have... now we're moving into stuff that broke today. The big one was Olivia Newton-John died today.
Yeah, 73 years old.
Yeah. I don't know if they've released a time of death yet. But I know she's
I believe
been
it was
battling
early
cancer.
this morning, I read.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah, she had battled breast cancer, and from the best of that, I believe it was breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
But the best of my knowledge was that she was in remission, but I guess maybe she had to go through another bout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not clear yet. This is the article I'm looking at was updated at 6 o'clock, and we are recording this at 7:40. So, and essentially, it brings up she's battled breast cancer, so it's very likely it's something to do with that, but we don't know. But yeah, she was a huge singer, of course. She had. Did she have any bigger movies besides Grease? I know Grease was definitely her biggest movie.
I know she did another movie with John Travolta later.
That does.
But I don't think
familiar.
But I don't think it was as big as Grease.
No.
Well, speaking of Grease, one of her co-stars is actually in the news recently.
Really?
Eddie Dresden. He was kind of a background character through most of the film.
Okay.
Kind of the nerdy guy who was in both movies. Yeah, so he's had an interesting time since then. I guess he was writing a lot off of his celebrity for a long time, or just his appearance in that and various other movies kind of playing the same type of character.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess recently he found himself in a little bit of legal hot water, and he today was found not competent to stand trial in a nursing home burglary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was the report. That was the thing I had to tie into Grease.
Well, not the last time we will be mentioning burglary during this podcast news segment.
No, not at all.
Yes, because as of a couple hours ago, Ezra Miller arrested for burglary in Vermont.
Yep. And again, you have all this beautiful press happening, for the movie, and yet you have people. Oh, the wrong way. I guess we should go that way. Yep. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Who are just causing nothing but trouble for your picture, bad press. And I mean, if they're using the tagline or just the thought process of, hey, any news is good news.
Yeah.
There is no bad press. I don't know. I mean, the whole kind of grooming thing is not a good look.
No, we're talking about
Really
actual
not a good
grooming,
look at
not
all.
the grooming that everybody gets accused of anymore.
Yeah, like legitimate. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it really seems
What
like
what
he's
what, what did he
bad
get caught
news.
stealing? What did he get caught stealing?
Let's see. Felony burglary. Does the story say this was breaking? I think it was breaking. Like when was this posted? I guess it was posted a few hours ago. I guess this came out before Olivia Newton-John. It doesn't say. This lays controversy to Paul Miller, who has been the center of scandals for the better part of this year. Yes, they were arrested. Oh yeah, because he goes gender neutral. They were arrested twice in Hawaii this spring. They were for disorderly conduct and harassment. Once more for second-degree assault. Miller is facing several allegations of abuse from different women around the world, including choking a woman in an Icelandic bar and harassing another woman in her home in Berlin. Sure. Okay, so David Zaslav has reiterated after this came out, though, saying The Flash is still a go. And here's the deal. Like, I get it. The movie's shot. I get it. Like, and I guess Grace Randolph, who is a super seedy source of information, was saying that as of right now, The Flash should go, and that's officially it for Ezra Miller's Flash. Which I would get. But I don't understand. Why are we going forward with this Flash movie and not Batgirl?
Seriously, why?
Yeah, it's very, very confusing to me. I don't get it. I get going forward with the Flash movie, but why kill Batgirl? I don't get it. Let's see. Anything to add to the news before we move on to our main topics?
No.
All right. So
I guess I did report correctly. Mar-a-Lago is currently being raided by the FBI.
Oh, well, good fun. We'll see what we hear from that.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So the first movie on our agenda is the new Predator movie, Prey.
Yes, yes, we are going to talk about some movies today.
Yes, yeah, we had quite a bit of news go over, but we have Prey, and I'll go ahead and say this is a movie I saw it a couple days ago. I think I saw it Saturday night, so 2 days ago. The more it sat with me, the more I really enjoyed this.
Yeah,
this was
definitely
cool.
I really enjoyed a lot of this. Now, did you watch? Did you know that there were two versions of it?
Yeah, I heard about the second version. The Comanche.
The Comanche version.
Yeah,
where it's just they just speak in Comanche the whole time.
Yeah,
with subtitles.
Yeah, I kind of like. I like how they handled the English though, because it begins and there's a little bit of Comanche. I'm slaughtering the word, I'm sure. But then they quickly segue into English for the tribe. And I think that kind of works to help put you more in their position, because later on we get like the French
people speaking
white
French,
people.
I think, yeah.
And it as a white person, it'd be easy to identify with them. But of course, they're speaking French, and the person we're following is speaking English, so it kind of works.
Yeah. It did. I really liked a lot about this, and this brings up something that I had said earlier while we were talking in the news. Practical effects even look great in digital film.
Yes.
I did a little bit of homework on this movie after I watched it. I guess they tried to use very minimal CGI as possible, other than when needed.
Yeah.
And of course when Predator was invisible, but everything else is practical.
Yeah.
Like they tried to rely on as much practical effects as they could, and they certainly did. And it looked great. I'm even okay with how the Predator looked. It didn't look the way that we're used to seeing it, but I mean, I think with any type of movie that, I guess, one that's not grounded in some sense of a reality that we know, because this is one dealing with aliens. We don't know. I mean, as far as we know, that species could evolve over time, and that's why it looks the way it does when Arnold encounters him in '87.
Well, they've always brought up the idea of alternate tribes in lots of these sequels. I will say, I was not a fan of the alien look without the mask in this movie. And that's probably my biggest complaint about the movie. because
Did
I thought
did it
was
look a little
very
narrow
good.
to you?
It just looked kind of
The
weird.
face look
It
a little
didn't-
narrow?
Yeah, it didn't quite work for me.
Yeah,
But
that is kind of a nitpick I do have.
Yeah.
I still liked how it looked, but just a little nitpick.
Yeah, no.
Face was a little narrow,
When-
but still intimidating.
I want to state, when that's your complaint for this movie, that is like not a big complaint because we don't see the alien that much. It's got like a bone mask, and that's one thing I actually really like because the Predator is more primitive too. This takes place in 1719, if memory serves.
Yep.
So of course we're dealing with more primitive weapons, but the Predator has a lot more primitive weapons as well. It's more advanced,
Yeah.
obviously, but it's not at the same level it was when it fought Arnold, which is very cool. Yeah, I like how it had like the 3 target things, but instead of like blowing it up, it was just these 3 high velocity arrows essentially.
Yeah,
It's just
that was
exactly
kinda
where
cool.
each dot went. It's like, okay, that's crazy.
It's like that's a little homing arrow. That's badass.
Mhm. But yeah, well, what was the name of the main character? I know this. I know. But I guess while I'm looking it up, this is one of the 2 movies that we were talking about this week that has been a target of the anti-woke crowd, primarily because
Why? It's about sibling rivalry.
Well, the reason why the anti-woke crowd dislikes it is because a woman can't possibly take on a predator.
So an alien can't take on an alien species.
It's so dumb.
No, is that what they're saying?
Yeah, no, they're saying, how can a 110-pound woman take on like a 700-pound predator? And I'm like, how can Arnold
Ellen
take on
fucking
a
Ripley.
700-pound fucking predator? Dude,
Ellen
that's the
fucking
whole
Ripley.
point. The whole point is that they have to figure out how to overcome this insurmountable task.
Ellen fucking Ripley.
Yeah, well, Ellen Ripley doesn't qualify because it's older. They always give a pass to the older stuff.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's
Bullshit.
It's the exact same thing. And
Whatever. Okay.
yeah,
Whatever.
It's dumb.
It's incel energy, anyways.
Yes, it is. But anyways, yes. So Naru, played by Amber Midthunder, who I looked it up, and she actually is from a whole bunch of cultures. One of them is Native American, but she's a mix of a whole bunch of people. But yeah, she's trying to prove herself as a hunter, and of course, you get the typical tribe stuff where, the women don't typically hunt. It's not too huge of a deal, but they do bring it up a couple times. They do let her go out there. They're not saying you can't go out there.
Yeah, they don't forbid her or
Yeah,
anything like
it's
that.
just not the standard, and they don't think she can keep up with them, essentially. But even her, it's her brother, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
The
I
war
liked
chief.
his
Yeah.
character too. Even though he was
I did too.
He was a dick to her, but overall, I liked his character quite a bit. When they're hunting the lion at the beginning, she doesn't get to finish him off, and he brings up later, we used your strategy against the lion and it worked.
Yeah,
that's how we got him.
Yeah.
It's like nice. But yeah, I just love this. This is like a period piece with a fucking predator, and I love that they did this. Usually for period pieces, you get like dramas like Downton Abbey. Here's Downton Abbey, but there's a fucking predator.
I would actually watch the show then.
Yeah, no, I would watch the shit out of that. No.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I just love this take on it. And like I said, the more it sits with me, the more I really dug this, because it felt like the time period. This is so cool. I like how she figures out how to, she has this throwing axe that she's really good with, and she figures out how to tie a rope to it to pull it back to herself, and that ends up being super useful later. It just shows that she's like this creative character, and that's how she's able to eventually get the upper hand on this thing. Yeah, Jesus, I just watch it.
Yeah, check this one out. This is
so
definitely
cool.
one not to sleep on.
Yeah, this is very cool. It's kind of surprising it just came straight to Hulu, because I would be fine if I had to end up watching this in theaters.
I'd have been okay seeing this in the theater.
Yeah, we will come up with a movie later that I won't be disappointed to see in the theater. But this one, yeah, if I went to see this in the theater, I won't be like, that's cool. I think you might know.
Yeah, I do. I do. I'm interested to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, this is very cool. Is there anything you want to add?
No, I guess another little small nitpick I have of it is I kind of thought that we saw a bit too much of the Predator too early.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish that they would teased it a little bit longer. Like maybe till the 30-minute mark.
Maybe. I kind of get why, because when you're dealing with sequels, it was like Predator 2. They're going to get to Predator stuff a lot earlier than the first one, because...
Yeah.
You know what you're getting into.
You're going in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what you're getting here.
One thing I wanted to bring up was the gun. Because she got a gun in this from the French that she used against the Predator that is very similar to the gun that Danny Glover got at the end of Predator 2.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, hey, it's a nice little, nod of the hat to Predator 2.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite of the ones that we've watched.
Yeah.
I mean, I did enjoy 1 very much, but I really enjoyed 2.
Well, Predator...
I feel 2 is definitely underappreciated.
Oh, yeah. Predator 2 is one that I totally slept on for years. And then when I actually turned around and watched it, I was like, this is decent. And it's easy to slip on because Arnold doesn't come back. But
yeah.
Well, if you actually watch it, it's like, this isn't bad at all. Shit. This isn't...
Yeah, so that gun has technically killed 2 predators.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be the same gun. I know some people are saying it's the same gun and some aren't. I'm not sure how...
I've seen hot takes on both.
Yeah, I'm not sure how this gun ends up in the hands of predators, because, I mean, she eventually does beat the predator here. Spoiler for...
Yeah.
Obvious spoiler for a movie.
Oh, yeah, she does kill it.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Yeah, she is the true final girl, and she does eventually beat the monster. What a twist. Mm-hmm. That never happens, I know.
I know, shocking.
Yeah. Well, one thing I was thinking for a sequel, you know what I'd like to see done for a sequel? Now we have 5 of these movies, and they're all kind of on their own. A sequel where the 5 survivors have to come together, or brought together, and the predators after them. And I know Arnold and Danny are not young anymore. I don't know if you want to de-age them or think of an excuse for why they're older in there.
Yeah.
But I think that could be cool.
Well, like picked from different times.
Yeah. You could digitally de-age them. Yes, that's the big option. It'd be pricey,
I don't know if Danny would do it though.
I don't know. I don't know if Danny's that picky. I'm always up for more Danny Glover. He's awesome.
Always, yeah.
But I don't know, like, now that we've done so many of these, like, offshoots of Predator, or just random people finding a Predator, I feel like that'd be a cool way to take another one, to do something different.
That would be.
And that's
definitely a new take on it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, the Predators, we have had Predator in the jungle, Predator in the city, Predator on another planet, Predator in a small town, and now Predator back in time.
Yeah.
And honestly, back in time was an interesting take.
I mean, I would kind of like to see a predator in medieval times.
Ooh, sure, why not?
Like Predator versus the Knights of the Round Table.
Oh, for sure, yeah. How about Predator versus Julius Caesar? Fuck it.
Ooh, the Centurions.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Caesar's getting fucked.
The Predator versus the Spanish Inquisition.
You find out in that
but the Monty Python take on them.
We find out Julius Caesar is good friends with a predator, goes by the name of Brutus.
Brutus.
This will go well. No.
His name is Brutus.
But yes, excellent movie. Totally worth checking out. Let's see. Are we ready to move on to the other big anti-woke? The big movie anti-woke people are after. Lightyear.
You mean our first dose of Chris Pine this week?
Our Chris Pine? Chris Evans.
Chris Evans,
yes. I was trying to think, what is Chris Pine and Chris Evans, yes. We get quite a bit of Chris Evans in this one. I didn't think about that. Yes, Lightyear. Lightyear is fine. Are we ready to move on to Gray Man?
Yeah, good. What? It's the movie that made Andy want to buy a Buzz Lightyear toy.
Yeah, and that's one.
I actually enjoyed that aspect of this.
Yeah.
That's one thing I liked the best about it.
Yeah, well, I do feel like... I feel like I would have liked this movie just more stand on its own than to feel the need to shoehorn in the Toy Story bit at the beginning. Because it's kind of obvious.
Well, yeah.
But yeah,
but
this
audiences need things spelled out for
I
them,
know,
so.
I know. It kind of drives me nuts sometimes. Yeah, this is obviously Andy's toy in his own sci-fi movie. And I like a lot of the ideas in this movie. I love the idea of, like, it begins with Buzz and his good friend Hawthorne and partner, and they're on this mission. I don't know where they're going to, but they're on this planet, and they end up getting stuck here, and Buzz blames himself for it, even though it was something he couldn't really prevent. But he was the one driving them, and he sees himself as the one that fucked it up. So now he's dedicated to fixing it. Now the fix they've come up with, every attempt, they're trying to figure out this new fuel source, and every attempt to do this takes 4 years to find out if it worked.
Yeah.
And it's an instant to Buzz, but it's 4 years to everyone on the planet.
Yeah.
Which I mean, we're stacking up a lot of story elements. That being said, it's kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. I like the ideas of Buzz just doing this. And meanwhile, everybody else is living their lives. And Buzz is missing everybody living their lives. His friend, here's a big anti-woke element. His friend Hawthorne, she finds herself a wife and she has herself some kids. Or is it just the one kid?
I think it was just the one.
Yes, I said she finds herself a wife.
I know, it's shocking. Like, oh my god.
Lesbians exist. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god.
I appreciate how casually it's treated in this movie.
Me too.
Like, there's literally just a brief conversation where, like, hey.
Oh, wow.
Have you found anybody?
So did you finally...
Have you found somebody?
Yeah, did you finally ask her out?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, oh. And I was like, oh, that?
Yeah.
Is that what the big deal is?
Yeah.
Oh, no, just a peck. Oh, what? They're just greeting each other.
Yeah.
That's what people in relationships do when one gets home from work.
Yeah, it's even when they're elderly and they we see them elderly and they do a quick, they kiss very briefly. It's literally, if you blink, you're gonna miss it. And
yeah, literally.
It is nothing, and it's literally just acknowledging lesbians exist, and that is it. If you can't handle the fact that lesbians exist, that's a you problem. I'm sorry, it is. I
agree.
But yeah, that was it. And then, like, past, 10 or 15 minutes in this movie, there's nothing else like that. So it was just that they blew up at. Oh, my God.
That and only that.
Yeah. And I did a whole special on my channel where I talk about why this failed. It's not because of the wokeness. It's because it was not marketed well.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
From how I saw it marketed, I didn't expect the movie that I got.
Yeah. Like I said, I think this movie was a little bit underwhelming. I don't think it's bad, but it's a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
That being said, even with the movie we have, I think it could have been marketed as just this unique sci-fi adventure from Pixar. They should have banked on the name Pixar and then just said a unique sci-fi adventure. And not even really mention Lightyear. You could still have it be called Lightyear, but in the trailer, don't mention Lightyear, don't mention Andy, don't mention Toy Story. Just, people going, hey, is that Buzz Lightyear? Just wondering, is that Buzz Lightyear? And just sell this as a unique sci-fi adventure.
Yeah.
And then Lightyear then just becomes icing on the cake. You're selling the cake.
Yeah.
And that's not
what
they did.
I do think that. Yeah, the marketing definitely missed something on this.
Yeah, they just banked on the name Lightyear, but it's clearly its own universe thing. And the name Lightyear isn't enough to sell it when it's obviously removed from the Lightyear we've seen before.
Yeah.
And it's worth saying, I think Chris Evans does a fairly good job here.
Yeah, he does. It took me a while to realize it was him.
Mm-hmm. I would actually say we'll hit Chris Evans again, but I actually think he does a good job in both these movies. But I definitely have something to say about his character in the next one. But yeah, I love the idea that he blames himself. Complete spoilers here. But in the end, it turns out that he is Emperor Zurg, and he is...
Yep.
What Zurg is this robot him from the future. Well, he's not a robot, but it's elderly him from the future in a super robot suit.
Yeah.
Desperately trying to fix this situation. And I
kind of gone mad by his own drive. Yeah.
And I
really like that idea.
I don't think it's done as well as they could have.
Like, that is definitely something that I would expect to see in Star Trek.
Yeah. Because there's future him, when he comes back in time, there's this another version of him, the younger him, that we mainly follow. Doesn't know about future him. But he actually gets to meet some of these people who have essentially grown up entirely on this planet. They've lived their whole lives on this planet, and they're fine here. They are happy on this planet.
They are.
And then
and he's wanting them to leave.
Yeah, and this brings him in conflict with older Buzz Lightyear, who is just all his life known trying to save these people, trying to get them off this planet, no matter what it takes. And it's an interesting dynamic, and I wish they had really... Because part of my problem is, we meet older Buzz Lightyear, and almost instantly, they're kind of at each other. Not immediately, but almost instantly. And I want, maybe a good solid time period where they're actually almost working together.
Yeah.
To really solidify how much this Buzz has changed. Be like, oh yeah, let's work together. And then, as it evolves, he starts realizing, wait, we're undoing this, we're undoing that. We need more time of them together to realize how close they were, but how much this new younger Buzz has diverged off this path. And they don't do that. It's kind of frustrating because they have a good movie here, and they settle for good when it could have been another Pixar classic, I believe.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's just such a good idea, because we all blame ourselves for the dumb little mistakes we do in life.
Yeah.
It's very relatable. And the fact is, lots of times, these mistakes define who we are, and we are better people from them. And I feel like they're so close to hitting that, and it's just kind of eh. Now, older Buzz is a bad guy.
We're gonna focus on this, but no, it's not.
Yeah, it's so close to there. This is just so close to being a really just an our Pixar classic, and instead it's fine.
Yeah, it's just all right.
Yeah, like I said, it could have been marketed better because it's a better movie. It didn't deserve to bomb as much as it did.
No, it didn't. It was much better than what it got.
Yeah, but it's not a great Pixar movie. In fact, hey, Bobby, what is your favorite Pixar movie?
Well, that's a tough one.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely contenders for me, but there's one very solid choice for me.
I'd have to say Monsters, Inc.
Oh, okay. That's actually not even a contender for me. It's Up for me, by the way.
Up was also one I would definitely consider because man, do they hit you with emotions within the first 3 minutes of that movie?
No, Up is the perfect combination of a movie for an adults and a movie for children. Has all the takeaways of a children's movie: a talking dog, a goofy bird, a house that flies on balloons.
A kid as a main character.
Yes, but also, God, it hits you in all the feels. If you're an adult, all the feels. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. It's somehow mixes these things perfectly. The adult...
Yeah, you're almost going through all the emotions the same as the old man in it. So much so, the first time I watched it, when that construction crew was out of his house, in my head, I'm like, the hell you are?
Yeah, you fuckers.
Oh, you're fucking touching this house.
Yeah. This is not up to that standard. This is fine. This isn't their worst. I'm trying to think, what would their worst be? Oh, probably Cars 2.
Yeah.
Cars 2. I know,
probably Cars 2.
Yeah. That might be the one I consider kind of bad.
What was the animal one, the talking animal one? The one they did in conjuncture to Madagascar.
Did they do one like that? I don't remember.
I think they did. Wasn't Happy Feet? Wasn't that them?
No, I don't think so.
Or was that DreamWorks?
Happy Feet, I think it might have been DreamWorks, but that was also George Miller, which is interesting. Let's see. Complete list of Pixar movies. Let's see. Oh, I've not seen the newer ones like Luca or Turning Red. Let's see. A lot of these are really good. Good Dinosaur was kind of nowhere. Yeah. I almost forgot that one existed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part, these are all really good. I wasn't a huge fan of Toy Story 4. I will say that. It was fine.
No, I wasn't either.
Yeah, for the most part, these are all classics, though.
I still think that they should have ended it with 3.
What, Toy Story?
Toy Story? Yeah, they should have
ended it with 3. They didn't have a great idea for the 4th one, I felt. It was kind of...
They wanted to introduce some trash as a main character.
Yeah. Didn't quite work. But yeah,
no.
I would definitely rank this one as better than Toy Story 4 for sure. This is at least trying something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's okay.
I wonder if we're gonna get a Woody movie now.
Yes. This time, Woody.
I mean, based in that world, I wouldn't. That would be fun.
Yeah, sure.
I think I'd even be all right with Tom Hanks playing Woody.
Yeah, we'd have to see. I think that'd be tricky for them to do since they recast Tim Allen, which I'm fine with them recasting him. But yeah.
But I mean, given a lot of the context of the story, I see why he wouldn't have agreed to it.
I don't know. Like,
it's probably too woke for Tim Allen,
Well, I don't know, because he actually said he really liked the story to this. So.
Oh, really?
Yes, he said he really liked it. He was disappointed it wasn't more connected to the toy, but he really liked it.
Okay.
So. Yeah. Are we ready to talk about some more Chris Evans?
Yep.
All right. Now time for the greatest movie ever, Gray Man.
It was all right.
It's fine. I would say this is this is my least favorite of the 3 this week, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't have any real complaints about this. Actually, there was a funny moment in it near the end of it, where they're doing an exterior shot of a building and how the camera movement is going, and it says Washington, D.C. And I was like, God, I was like, why do I feel like I'm watching a Russo brothers movie? Like, I kind of just said that aloud.
Yeah.
And as soon as I said that, there's one of them right on screen. I went, oh, this must be a Russo brothers movie, because look, there's a fucking Russo brother.
Yeah. No, this is directed by the Russo
brothers. Because whole time,
and
whole time
by...
had their signature on it the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like cinematography and everything. Visually, it looked good, and it played out a lot like one, but it was kind of lacking in some areas.
Yeah.
Which I kind of think it kind of goes back to what I said about the Matrix movie. I could tell one of the siblings had worked on it and not the pair.
Mm-hmm.
Because when one of them works together on their own, they do work. Mm-hmm. They do good work. Not their best, but when they work as siblings, they excel.
Mm-hmm. Well, we
and
it was both the Russos on this one.
Yeah, they did, but I thought it was just the one of them.
No, it was both of them.
Because I know they both were executive producers. I think one of them just wrote it.
Well, the writers, what makes this connected to the Marvel Universe is it's directed by the Russos, and it is written by the guys who wrote the last 2 Avengers and all 3 Captain America movies.
Okay.
And I think one of the Russo brothers actually co-wrote it with them.
Yeah.
I don't know which one, but they both directed it.
Okay.
So
I could tell that because visually it looked like it. Just the writing though didn't quite feel fully Russo, but it did definitely have a lot of like Endgame and Infinity War, like oh well, this thread is unraveling, but it unravels to this, and I liked that with this, but I kind of just felt like it had a lot going for it, but a lot of convenient plot armor.
Yeah. Well, one thing I will say that I appreciate about this movie is it was kind of a throwback movie. It felt like some sort of action vehicle you might see in the 90s.
Oh, absolutely.
It felt very much like something like fucking Eraser or something that would have
This
like
is a
Keanu
movie that
Reeves or
either
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, this seems like definitely a movie that, pending on the year, it would have been either Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger, or again, pending on the year,
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, or Bruce Willis,
Mm-hmm.
or Wesley Snipes.
Mm-hmm.
Again, pending on the year,
Yeah.
Brad Pitt, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say it's probably above average compared to a lot of those because there's a lot of crap there. But there's also some classics there too.
There are some really great action, like suspense, plot-driven movies that came out in the 90s. And there are some definite underestimated gems out there.
Mhm.
Definitely a lot that flew under the radar.
And there's
and
also
some that are just awful.
Yeah, there's some, you could do some turd polishing, but they're bad.
Yeah, not to name any of them right off the bat that are just, well, I guess I could name one that I feel is two that I feel are absolute gems. Nick of Time with Johnny Depp
No, I have not.
and
seen
like
that
Christopher Walken.
Mm.
He plays a bad guy. He wants Johnny Depp to kill like a vice president
one. Yeah.
or like a senator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Christopher Walken is like full on bad dude.
Wait,
like,
Christopher Walken playing a villain? I don't know if I've ever seen
dude,
that.
no, he is like this is the role that he's played that scares me.
Yeah.
Like still to this day that he scares me in that role. It's on Paramount Plus. Check it out if you can. And the other one that I feel is just it's silly, stupid fun is Sudden Death with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because it takes place during a Penguins game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if I'm thinking of those cheesy 90 movies, I guess I brought up Eraser, which is fine. But like I'd say the ones I really like would be like obviously there's Speed.
Yeah.
And then the other one easily the best movie starring this guy would be Under Siege. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of a better one than Under Siege.
Well, his second best movie is Under Siege 2, which is a huge step down, but I haven't seen anything better that he's done.
Yeah, isn't that the one where Under Siege? That's it's Seagal, but is that the one where he's the cook?
Yes.
Okay, and Tommy Lee Jones is like
Tommy Lee Jones
he's
is
dressed
the
like a
crazy
hippie for
guy.
most of it.
Yes, he's this crazy hippie. It's kind of great. Like Tommy Lee Jones got so typecast after The Fugitive.
Yeah.
It's tough to look back on a movie like Under Siege and see him play somebody who's just like a psycho, and he does a really good job at it because you're so used to lawman Tommy Lee Jones at this point.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of performances that he turned in long before The Fugitive that he is just great and just so menacing, and like his role in JFK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, JFK is a great one too. I haven't seen that in forever, but damn, it's good.
I mean, well, but also whenever the typecast did pay off well for him too, because I mean, he was fucking great in Natural Born Killers.
Oh yeah. No, hell, like No Country for Old Men. I mean, he's done a great job with that role.
But I think in that one he definitely was like the old lawman who had, definitely seen a lot of his days, and he's ready just to cash it in.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got that last case.
Yes.
And this one that just as he says, I just can't shake this one.
Mm-hmm. But
God, that's a good movie.
Yeah. Well, it's better than Gray Man for sure. Which, like I said, I don't hate this movie at all. It's fine. I would say if I logged a huge complaint at it, I think Chris Evans does a good job. I don't believe a character like his could really exist, though. Just essentially.
Well, he reminded me a lot of a character from a video game, actually.
Really? What? Okay. I need
surprisingly, GTA 5. Mm-hmm. There's a character in there within the main story of like the actual game. There's a character in there named Chris Hines, I believe. Yeah, but anyways, he's like some dude who does like reality TV shows, but all based in federal law enforcement. Like he and his camera crew are there for federal raids and shit like that. And he gets like super jacked about it. Like pretty much just like that jockey macho mentality, like, but like ultra ultra militant mindset. So, like, his character really reminded me of that, but also that was a shitty mustache.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's to differentiate him from Captain America, but also, I felt like his mustache being super shitty was almost kind of intentional because the dude is just
it absolutely was. It absolutely was, but I mean, the character just kind of reminded me of that, but like, I mean. I can see where you're coming from, how like you don't believe that a guy like this exists. And yeah, personality wise, yeah.
Well,
occupation.
I
believe
a person like this could exist, but I don't believe a person like this could get people to work under him. I don't believe a person like this could get influence, get like a reputation for being remotely good at his job.
Whether he's efficient or not.
Yeah, because he is fucking messy as fuck. Like, he puts out okay, so I guess we're getting ahead of ourselves. So the whole plot line revolves around Six, who is Ryan Gosling's character, who is hired, he's probably like 21, 22 at the beginning. He's hired by Billy Bob Thornton to essentially be a gray man, which is somebody who they just wipe out all your past history. This is a person in prison who doesn't have a family, and to be a government agent, and he's really good at it. But there's been Billy Bob Thornton is retired. Someone else has taken over, and they want to get rid of this program. So they're getting rid of these agents. They're called Sierra agents. Ryan Gosling is the last one. He is Sierra 6. He's hired to take out Sierra 4, which he does. But then Sierra 4 gives him some information, and they don't want this information getting out. So he goes rogue with this information. Which I don't recall. Do they ever reveal what the information is? I don't think they ever do.
Yeah, they do. It was an encrypted file, and he had checked it. And that head of Homeland, of like that government figurehead or whatever, who had given him the order to kill 4.
Yeah.
He was it was some information involving him. And it was incriminating.
Yeah.
They didn't exactly say how or what incriminating it was, but I remember them opening it and seeing a folder.
Yeah, I remember
and seeing the photo with him on it.
But then there was the passcode thing, and then,
Yeah, and it was encrypted, and then they had to go to Prague.
Yes.
Which I did love the globe hopping in this, which is something that I feel like a lot of action movies missed. Like, one of my favorite things with older action movies, and even older movies too, like ones from the 40s even, where if the plot involves for them to travel, they'll do like the shot of a plane taking off, and then it'll show a map, and then them actually traveling like they did in the Indiana Jones movies. It's something silly and it's padding, but I always enjoy that, and it also kind of helps the audience go like, all right, cool, they're traveling somewhere, and it's good padding for your movie. I feel that's good padding. Not just having like a pointless conversation between two of the characters in the cabin of a flight during the flight. No, just show that. They don't have that. I feel action movies and a lot of movies have been lacking in that lately. And this, I would have at least hoped it did that, but no. Nope, just quick at it.
Yeah. It's... For me, like, my biggest issues revolve around the Chris Evans character. So, obviously, Sierra 6 goes rogue, and the new guy hires, I guess it's one of his old college friends, which is Lloyd, who is Chris Evans, who... I guess went to some sort of training academy and then just failed out after 5.5 months. And now he runs his own business that's supposed to be super prestigious. He says, the reason why I'm so successful is because I don't have to follow the rules of the government. Government has rules, I don't. But God, he takes it to such a ridiculous level. He is messy as fuck. So, like, he puts out a bounty on Sierra 6, of course. And then the guy calls in the bounty and has 6 all locked up. And Chris Evans just breaks in, kills the guy that got the bounty for him. And it's like, who would take this guy seriously at all? He just kills whoever. There's this bit where he starts this whole fight. I want to say it's in Prague, where like the cops get involved and he just starts blowing up this city block essentially. And it's like, oh my god, it's not sold that this guy's like losing it. It's sold that this is
Well,
just like a normal day for him. And it's like, what the
it was
fuck? Oh no.
yeah. I mean, we know it was just a Tuesday for Ryan Gosling, but like, yeah, I think that other agent put it best, who said to Chris Evans, "I can't believe that the level of the the monumental fuck up
Yeah.
that this is."
No, and I think
like they will teach a class on how not to do exactly what just transpired.
Yeah, no, he is messy as fuck, but it's not sold that this is like unusual for him. It's sold that he's just a messy guy.
Yeah.
And I feel like
maybe a little unhinged.
I feel like this movie could have come off a lot better if maybe it's set up the opposite. It's set up that he's actually super orderly. Like, yeah, sure, he does this because the government has too many rules, but he's like super orderly and he's fastidious with how he does things. And then when you see like the huge like street battle in Prague, you start getting the sense that he's losing it. That Six keeps on eluding him and he is losing control and he doesn't like it. I feel like an escalation of his character into something a bit more what we start out with would have been preferred to what they do. And I want to state, like, I have issues with the character because I don't think it makes sense. But I think Chris Evans as a villain actually works well because he comes off just not giving a shit, which is, I think he does a good job. I think it works. But yeah. You still there?
Oh, yeah.
No,
I'm trying to dig something up.
Yeah, no, my issue is entirely with how the character is written. I think Chris Evans as the villain works.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he was really great as a villain, and it's something that I've been really wanting to see for the longest time.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see him kind of on this, like, unhinged level, because the only time I've ever really seen him play a villain, per se, was probably in Scott Pilgrim, but I feel like he was purposely hamming it up for
that. Oh, he was
so
absolutely hamming
I didn't
it up.
buy that as, like, buy it as genuine, you know?
Yeah, that'd probably be the closest thing I could think of to a villain role, other than you could probably find some teenage comedy where he plays a jerk, but...
I mean, not another teen movie?
Yeah, which I haven't seen since college, so...
It came out
last year?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is fine. I would say of the 3 movies this year, or this week, this is my least favorite. It's fine. It's one of those things where it's like, if you're interested in it, go ahead and check it out. If you're not interested in it, don't. Because, like, this isn't going to turn you over. Like, if this is, like, if you're looking for something to break into action movies with, like, you're not a huge fan of action movies and you're looking for something to break in with, this isn't going to be it. But, I don't know. If you're looking for kind of a fun take-back movie, kind of like a better than average 90s action vehicle for Ryan Gosling, it's not bad. This is definitely something I would say that I wouldn't have been disappointed to see in theaters, though. Because, yeah, it's fine. I think Netflix is exactly where this should go, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I guess anything you want to add?
No. Again, I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
It definitely had a lot of like those Russo traits. I wouldn't say I'm gonna rewatch it anytime soon, but for what it was, I enjoyed it. It did remind me a lot of those 90s action movies, but I mean, it's nothing really worth visiting again, in my opinion.
No, the only thing I'm almost certain to revisit again will probably be Prey, because that was surprisingly good. That was solid.
That was very good.
Yeah. That would you call that the best Predator movie since the first one? Because I think I might.
I'd say it's definitely. I rank it up with the first two.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite.
I think in orders of favorites, it would probably be Predator 2, Predator, and Prey.
Okay. Oh, well, you would put Predator 2 above Predator?
Yeah, because I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I come at me with the hate.
Well, no, I get it. Because when I first saw it, I was like, oh my god, this is 100% decent. I was not expecting anything when I first watched Predator 2, and I watched it, I was like, this is decent.
Yeah, it was nothing like I was expecting, but it gave me so much more than what I was expecting, and that's why I rank it so high.
But yes. So next week, let's see. Oh yeah, did you pick something for next week?
Yeah.
Ooh, what did you pick?
The trailer right there.
Well, we're on the podcast. Do you want to say it?
Yeah. I can. Oh, it's a movie from the early 2000s called The Chum Scrubber.
Ooh. Oh God.
Yeah.
That sounds terrifying.
It's not really terrifying. It's I guess it's kind of an interesting look into suburban life. It's a movie that has like a lot of different plot threads all going on at once, but they all tie into each other. It's definitely a dark satirical comedy.
Let's
Definitely
see.
that.
Well, I know Jessica Jones is definitely on the plate for next week. And then I was gonna bring up to you. Are you interested in Sandman?
I'm not familiar.
It's a comic book series, and Netflix just dropped it. I was thinking we could do. I think there's 10 episodes. If you're up for it, we could do the first 5.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then I know Hulk's on here. We can push that back a bit. All right, so let's do Jessica Jones 6 through 9, and then the Sandman 1 through 5, and then the Chum Scrubber.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds like fun. So that will be it for next week. I do not know how
you might be surprised at the cast in that. Like it's a huge cast.
Ooh, okay. I have no idea. But I will be checking it out next week. So we will be here to talk about it.
When we wrap up, we could watch the trailer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. So yeah, I guess we'll just see everybody next week.
Yeah.
Until then, the podcast is over.
Yep.
That's not a catchy phrase at all. That's not, everyone have a good
one. Live long
one.
and prosper.
Yes. And freeze frame. I want to go ahead and add some audio credits at the end here. The theme music you're hearing at the beginning and end of this podcast was written and performed by George Johnson, a very good friend of mine. And my current Patreons are Fel Martins, David Lara, and Lindsay Pankhurst. If you'd like to become a patron, go ahead and follow the link down below. Anything you can provide would be incredibly helpful to this channel. We're barely limping by right now. I'd love to make this my full-time job. I'm miles away from that right now. So any help you could provide, just $1 a month would be amazing. You know you want to. All your friends are doing it.